What is up, Trend Deluxers? Today we're going to take a look at the worst mental disorders. Before we start our journey through the video, here's the challenge of today. Tell us your thoughts about the mental problems in the comments down below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel while you are there. But, without further ado, let's start our video. Remember, these are all you guys' comments. For this list, we have picked the top rating comments about these YouTubers. Number 5, Depression. Depression always finds a way to make even the best situation seem irrelevant and all bad situations seem like the worst thing in the world. All you want to do is lie in bed feeling utterly miserable. Eventually you feel so fed up with yourself and your life you try to end it. I have a type of autism spectrum disorder known as Asperger's syndrome, and this makes it impossible for me to socialize or even feel normal. I also had suspected paranoia, which pushed away every relationship I ever had. As a result, I spend recess just feeling magnificent, lonely and miserable, watching other people enjoy themselves. The misery just stuck with me after a while, no matter where I was or whether I was lonely or not, and I then became majorly depressed. People rarely asked if I was okay, and I would just try to smile and say I was fine even though my heart was broken, unable to be fixed. People then just assumed I was just strange and liked to be alone, which is untrue. They shunned me and I tried to ignore them. I knew I could never be like them and that I am certifiably a freak. The misery built up and I ended up refusing to go to school. I am now 13 and have been officially depressed for 2 years. That might not sound long, but even 2 minutes is too long for anyone to spend in emotional agony, being consumed by crippling depression. This has been my story for a long time, and the worst part is others may be the same. I wouldn't wish this pain on my worst enemy. They say there are cures for depression, and I have tried to take antidepressants. They are all a load of baloney and in fact just made it worse. I hardly ever leave my house now, and I try not to even leave my bedroom. If you even suspect you're depressed, seek help without delay and don't end up like me. It's for your own good. Number 4, Borderline Personality Disorder. BPD is such a terrible, terrible thing. I am horrified at myself for the way I act toward myself and the way I treat others. I had a lot of cases in my childhood of being left behind by my parents and abandoned by my friends, and they were some of my worst memories. It's such a strange disorder because I can't trust myself or anyone else. It's almost like my entire persona changes day by day or week by week. I have such powerful and explosive emotions that I slip into erratic, psychotic, and sometimes catatonic states. In some extreme cases, I've even dissociated and nearly got myself killed. All I want is to be loved and understood, but that's impossible when you can't love or understand yourself. I subconsciously pick friends that are emotionally fragile so I can get in their heads more easily and keep them close, then my impulsiveness can cause me to abuse them. I always present myself to be kind, talented, understanding, and respectable, so people are drawn to me, but I fear that when anyone gets too close, I'll abuse them. It's like being a human bug zapper. Perhaps the most painful part is the emptiness. I'll isolate myself out of fear and paranoia, only to find myself drowning in a nothingness so painful and lifeless that I become an emotionless vegetable. I almost feel like it deserves to be higher on the list, because it has aspects from a lot of the other disorders like Asperger's, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder. Number 3, Bipolar Disorder. I'm not ashamed to be bipolar, nor should I be. This illness has tormented every day of my teen life and into adulthood, yet it has also taught me beautiful things, mainly to cherish those while you have them, because you won't have them forever, because once they realize there is more to your personality than extreme happiness. Mainly what I have learned from being bipolar is that there is no such thing as unconditional love from anyone, and that egos are fragile. I also have PTSD. I regularly debate killing myself, but when I am happy it's the most wonderful feeling ever. Imagine 20% of the time you are on ecstasy, at 80% of the time you can barely remember simple facts because your emotions are so down that's all that you can think about. It's like every mental illness turned into one, and it is completely random when you feel what no control of your emotions. But many people who have come to terms with bipolar disorder are the sweetest people I have ever met, because really all they want is one emotion, and that is love. If you have bipolar disorder, your life is going to be a never-ending war, but you'll learn what kind of place the world is, and you'll be more perceptive than most people when it comes to emotions, purely because you experience such a large variety of them. Fellow bipolar people, be strong. You know, every time we fall it is only to rise again. Number 2, Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. People have no idea, it's not just washing your hands 6 times a day. I had much things I had to do. Everything I did, I had to do it 2 times and then again, but in the opposite direction. I was not allowed to breathe when I looked at people or when they were in my sight. When I did look at them, I had to breathe in so much that I passed out. People couldn't touch me or things in my room, even the floor, and when they did, I had to get their bacteria off of it and then sort of slap it up and then slap it off of my hands again, and everything in my room was not allowed. To change, I had to pick up everything from the street, leaves, plastic, stones and even food. I couldn't throw it away too. It drove me crazy. I tried to commit suicide almost every week. I was young so I didn't know how, but I tried to hit my artery with a screw. It hurt so much but it didn't work. I cut myself. I was in therapy. I tried so hard to live happy. But this gets you too depressed. Life gets so hard. I even had to hurt myself because I just had to, and when I accidentally hurt myself somewhere, I had to do it a second time and then again, but in the opposite direction. This is insane. I have borderline too, but that is much less worse than this. This drives you abnormally crazy. Number 1, schizophrenia. There are voices and thoughts. They won't stop coming inside your head, no matter how hard you try. When I say quiet, they will talk again. My mom and other people repeatedly calling my name is the scariest. Even when you're silent, it's so noisy in your head like it's just going to explode. Then there goes shadow people peeping in the windows. I always had to close the windows and bring the curtains down so that they won't see me. I would avoid looking at the mirror sometimes because people coming from the other world might see me. I can't remember things properly. Like, what dress did I wear yesterday or earlier? I even experienced one time, when someone suddenly asked my name, I totally forgot. I paused to myself and had to look at the ID I was wearing to remember. Sometimes, I forget my birthday and age. I would prefer not to go outside much because I worry that intruders would go inside the house. I can't sleep because I can hear sounds that someone's trying to break down our door. I keep on looking at the door until the banging would stop, until I get sleepy and not notice I'm asleep already. I would forget things of halfway of I'm about to say. And, people confuse me sometimes because my words mix up. I always feel that nobody needs me and that useless people like me should die. Though they would force stopping in me. I also experienced the time when one of my friends something and I totally couldn't comprehend what he was saying. He repeated it for 5 times but the words doesn't seem to go inside my head. I had to tell him to stop. I also had the time when I smelled spaghetti but there's nothing inside the house. But, I was sure it was really a smell spaghetti. I wasn't hungry that time. I believe that there are other dimensions other than this world and they can enter through our world by finding the edges of our universe. My emotions control the weather in our town so I always have to keep calm. My mind is so filled with random thoughts and voice that I'm not sure of which to follow, listen, or do. I saw a comment in a forum before, him, saying that schizophrenia isn't bad. It's actually cool. No, you wouldn't want a very noisy, screaming, whispering, commenting, always thoughts filling inside your head. So, Trend Deluxers, that's it for today. To see the later videos, you can turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon right next to the subscribe button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, don't hesitate to do so. But, until the next videos, see you.